We're in a different world now. If it's not connecting, then there's a reason why.
Don't just jump on the trends, do it because you love it.
The groove on that was absolutely banging.
The elements are there that can make this an absolutely banging record.
When do I go for it? When do I take that leap? Welcome to the Toolroom Academy Artist Breakthrough Podcast. I'm here with Cal Lawrence from the Toolroom Academy, and we're here to dive into real topics, real talk, real advice to help you guys, help new artists breaking through onto the scene. We want to get really deep and talk about topics that are important to new artists, talking about experiences, helping with advice, and talking about what you guys want to discuss as well. We want you guys to get involved.
Yeah, these sessions are going to be a little bit different to the artist interviews that you've been doing. We're going to have a bit of fun in here, some current
100%.
news, some hot takes that you guys might disagree, agree with. We're going to do some A&R feedback as well, aren't we? Which is going to be essentially tracks that have been submitted through our alumni exclusive portal. So any of the students that have been through our courses, they know that you can submit through this, and we're going to give you guys some feedback. So it's going to be fun.
It's going to be a lot of fun. We've got so much to cover. There's so much to talk about. As I said, there's so many topics that we can talk about. We've got some things today that we think are really important to new artists when kind of even starting out on your music production journey. But to begin with, let's cover some news. Let's cover some things that are going on right now.
Let's do it. Where do we start?
Let's start with the Academy. There's loads going on right now, isn't there?
Yeah.
There's so many things that you've been working on. We've been building some new products, new courses. We've got some big wins to discuss. Where do we start?
The last month for the Academy has been, it feels like it's almost like a next step, like the next chapter of the Academy. We've had so many new courses drop in, ADE, the Apple mixes as well. Starting with the courses, obviously we had a massive collab with the legends at Crossfader. Now,
this is really cool.
Yeah, this was always quite a mad one for me as well, because I've been watching Crossfader for years on YouTube. So working with those guys has been unreal.
Yeah, big shout out
professionals,
to the Crossfader
like
guys.
just the best at what they do. And this is essentially DJ to producer course. So, so many people out there know how to DJ, don't really know where to start when getting into production, and this course does exactly that. It takes you through the basics of Ableton, and then within 30 minutes you're making your own DJ edits, whether that's short, extended. Straight into it, you get easy wins. There's 40% off discount with Ableton as well.
That. I think this is so cool. This course,
honestly,
this is wicked. You guys have worked so hard on this, and I think to a step into music production from DJing as well, and something that you can actually use, like DJ edits and stuff like that, making your own edits, or bootlegs, we used to call them back in the day as well. No, but it's so cool that you can do this, and I think this course is a really good step for those. So anyone who's interested in that, check this out. It's really, really cool. From DJ to producer. Is that what
DJ to producer. It's on Crossfader's website, not ours, so go and check it out. You'll be making mashups, mini remixes, and then even your own original at the end. And it's taught by Lewis John as well, who's just jumped in with the Academy.
Yeah, he's one of our Toolroom engineers. He's absolutely awesome as well. You're going to love it, so check that one out.
Yeah,
and Crusy, let's talk about this one.
Crusy,
with us guys, Toolroom in-house, he's a real firm sort of team favourite, isn't he? He's absolutely smashing it as an artist right now. And this course I'm mega excited about, even though I don't speak Spanish.
Well, it was one of those ones, I shot it with him over, 3.5 days he was with us filming it. And I was sitting there watching him behind the camera, just thinking, this is one of our best courses yet. Like, I literally cannot believe this isn't in English, but it's great. So any Spanish speakers out there, Latin Tech House is what it's on. Breaks down Kiki as well. Obviously, his massive record on Toolroom this year. He makes another track from scratch in under an hour, and there's some marketing stuff in there as well. So it has everything that you need. It's mega. I mean, honestly, Crusy since he released Selecta has been like...
He's just been on an upward trajectory. He's one of those artists that he just... For this, the new generation, he just totally gets it. He works so hard. He's amazing at all the kind of branding, social media networking, and his just production is so on point. His music, what I like about his music is how it touches and covers so many bases.
Yeah.
There was a video recently put up of, I think it was the Solid Grooves guys back at the end of the closing parties of Ibiza, and they were playing Kiki, and it just absolutely went off. Blew the roof off DC-10. He's so cool, and I think for the Spanish-speaking community as well, this is wicked to have the first course that does that. So
it's absolutely
amazing,
massive.
real big one as well. And then there's another course as well.
Another one. They're just coming out of our ears right now, aren't they? We have R3wire, of course, absolute legend as well.
Yeah.
Known quite well on Instagram for, you know, his DJ sets, his DJ streams. Supports a lot of people that have actually come through the academy as well.
Yeah,
so,
he's really cool with supporting people.
Yeah, so spent a few days shooting a course with him, which is just a track from scratch, how to write a club banger, and he's done it.
He's wicked. He's so cool in the way he does that, the way he actually teaches and passes on his knowledge as well. I love what he does on his Instagram. He's super cool. So that's another one to check out. The Apple mixes as well. This is wicked. This is a big first. We feel really proud of this because I think, you know, as an educational brand, record label, doing these Apple mixes with our, you know, students. These are previous students, some current students that have got their DJ mixes up on Apple Music. It's massive.
Yeah, I know. It's not often that, like, you know, you're just starting off in your career and then you're getting an official mix on Apple. I think having that sort of Apple logo on your profile feels like such a massive thing as well. So I think it's obviously big for us at Toolroom as well, you know, having that connection with Apple. So.
Yeah, it's wicked. Go check those mixes out. I've had a few of them on in the gym and they're wicked.
Yes.
Really cool vibe. ADE. Now ADE was a massive thing, wasn't it, back last month in October?
Yeah.
Huge event, you know, the entire it is the week of the year. The thing is it's such a big thing for the industry, but also for new artists, you know. The industry in the early days, industry all coming together, meeting lots of deals, and the panels and the side of it from an educational point of view has just grown and grown and grown. It's huge. Yeah. It's huge. The entire city of Amsterdam as well. I love the city themselves. They're just so they're so welcoming, you know, the government, how they just, the whole city gets involved. Every single shop, coffee shop, everything has got something going on to do with ADE.
It's an absolute hub, and you literally never know who you're going to bump into as well. Like this is my third year in a row that I've gone, but my first year 2-3 years ago, I went by myself and I came to the academy events and stuff like that, and the first night I went out for dinner just by myself at a pizza restaurant, and the table next to me, they managed like San Pacho and all these artists, and I ended up sitting at their table having dinner with them when I went out by myself, and that's just what AD is about.
That literally summarises it. Honestly, it's one of those things, and we get a lot of new artists ask us about this, going, should I go? Should I head to ADE? And it's like, look, don't even question it. You've got to do that first trip just to understand the city, how it works, and you can actually go to ADE and experience it if you're on a budget without even buying an official ticket, and just being in the city, hanging around, bumping into people, networking as well. It's a must, and it was absolutely wicked this year. We obviously had the Toolroom Academy We Rave You event, a production workshop, another fantastic event, second year in a row at the Roommate Atana Hotel, and it was wicked. We had the producers that were on show showing off their talents. It was wicked. The crowd were absolutely in awe. It was fantastic on it.
All ready for next year.
Yeah, ready for next year. The demos were really good as well. Another fantastic week, obviously. And I think we'll probably do that in the future. We'll cover ADE and give you guys some tips, and, you know, because it's a big topic, and I think it can be quite scary, you know, any music conference to even think about, right, I'm going to go, what's the sort of things I should be looking out for? So
the We Rave You guys as well are just like, you know, the top of the game, aren't they?
100%.
The wee kit testing area as well.
Yeah, I went and had a little play with a few things, made some scotchy noises.
Have you seen the new Roland drum machine?
I have not in person. Yeah, not actually seen it in person. No, I mean, I'm old school, as you know. You know, I love collecting stuff, but in terms of studio gear, I've never gone that. I'm like, the DJing side of it, still got my 1210s, my vinyl, but I'm kind of in the box guy.
Leave it to Dear Ramirez.
Leave it to Dean and Ben. They love it. So let's get into some deeper discussion on some of these topics that we wanted to raise. And one of the key ones we want to talk about on this session, huge one, and funnily enough, something that comes up a lot in our courses, and even recently on the Artist Development Masterclass, I had a few students, we have weekly live calls, and I had a few students bring this up and just saying, look, they're kind of, some even at the beginning of their journey, and some even a few years in, and it's this whole talk of like, how do I find my sound? Do I need to have a sound? What is a sound? What is my sound? It's a huge topic, and I think it can feel quite overwhelming to people that are just starting out, like even learning to produce, people that have been producing for a few years and trying to even understand that. Like, because I think it's something that gets talked about and thrown about in different contexts. You know, you could watch other podcasts, watch interviews, educational things, and hear artists saying it in an interview. And people are saying, well, what is that? How do I find my sound? Where do you even start?
It's one of those things as well, like everyone has a favourite artist, and the reason they are your favourite artist a lot of the time, I mean, you've got the branding side of things and that, but it's because of their sound.
Yeah,
and obviously you want to have that set in stone sound, but it's just, where do you start, Pete? Where do you start?
Where do you start? And the thing is, it's like even trying to figure it out. And someone said something interesting to me once, and they were saying that you kind of consciously, a lot of artists in the old school didn't really consciously do this. They just jammed, and as they used certain equipment and certain things and fused into sort of a sound, it became something. And I think over time it's become something that's more conscious now. But it's like you say, 'cause when you listen to, if you listen to music that you love by certain artists, and you know a lot about them, you listen to them regularly, you can start to guess it. You can almost hear a track and do like it's like the blind taste test, isn't it, with food? And go, oh, that's a Mark Knight track. Without even being told. Do you know what I mean? And there's a lot of artists that have that. Now, I think we're moving into times now where artists can diversify a little bit with their sound. But I do believe we're still in a stage where it all links to, as you grow as a producer and kind of understanding like where you want to be, what sort of lane you want to travel in and where you want to go. And I think it can become a really wide, deep discussion, of like creativity and how wide you take that. But essentially, I think at the very starting point of this, there's different things to think about, and it can depend on where you are in your own journey. So if you
could already be a DJ, a developed DJ as well.
This is what I mean. Sound. And so you're going to have a sound. You are going to have a sound. Right, this is going to sound different cliche. You're going to have a sound without even knowing you've got a sound. Right, because really, okay, I would say top level, your sound is you. Okay, you are your sound as a person. Right? So it sounds a bit cliche, right? I'm not reading script out of a self-help book, I promise. All right, and that's where it starts. It's who you are. So like, what's made you who you are? Your inspirations, your influences, your past, all the things you're kind of into, because that's what we share and we give out creatively when we're not consciously thinking about it.
No, not at all.
So like you said, if we even go back to just being a DJ before being a producer. Obviously, you might have gigs where you've got to play certain music, but if you're playing a set where you play what you want to play, you're curating that. You're thinking what you like, what you want to share. Okay, and I think this is where it can get lost a bit as a producer, because I think from what I see sometimes, we see some new artists, and it's this what's linked to like fandom and who they really love and admire. And sometimes that can turn into an obsession. It's like, I just want to sound like them. And I want to be like them. And there's this whole phase, isn't there, of using this as inspiration to help find where you go and find your sound.
So you also mentioned how back in the day, it used to be more, you would kind of like find your sound. Would you say they do it differently now? So like what you should do now is analyze the labels you want to be on, the artists that you love, and then try and write that sound, or through play. Is that a better way to do it?
So this is really interesting. I think there's different stages of this, and I think it depends where you are on your journey as well.
Right.
I think when you're starting out, to understand that as an artist, you will develop a sound, and you're probably going to go through loads of different stages.
Oh, of course, everyone does, don't they?
Do you know what I mean? And I think this can
link, yearly cycle.
This can link back to, I think sometimes when people are starting out, and it's this drive and this passion and this hunger to want to be there, but you've got to realise that this kind of stuff takes time. That success takes time. Breaking through takes time. Some people can be producing a year or two and have a lucky track and it connects and bam, they're going quicker. But to develop as an artist, to sort of learn, become good, become really good at it, and then to start
and
to
as you're becoming good, that direction is probably going to change as well.
Exactly that, right? You're going to move around and change your sound. So for me, there's almost two sides to it, and it's kind of like some of this is in the ethos of how we teach at the academy, and to get really good, I think it is actually good to almost, let's use the word copy. Let's use the word copy, as we would say when we're teaching reference. let's reference and understand, because we can learn from what's working, we can learn from what's successful, what's connecting, and sometimes we may even look at that and you know, be quite close to that as we're learning, but we're growing beyond that, you know.
So would you say to essentially copy an artist, like how do you get that sound without just copying them, you know?
So I think,
do you start with that and then from there you develop?
I think so, because I think if you try and take everything on board at once, it's a lot. It's a lot to deal with in terms of what you're thinking about all the time, and to just allow yourself to be creative. Because I think there's two sides to it, you know, being fully creative, like allowing yourself to just jam. Yeah. Just go in and just...
A lot of the time that's where you learn as
make
well.
Make noises and just see what and have fun. That's great. And it's hard to do that at the exact same time as being quite analytical and growing. Because I think if you go into it without actually thinking about being analytical, studying, research, referencing, analysing, if you go into it without any of that and just create and be creative, you could be making some really interesting music, but
something that it's nothing like it, essentially.
Yeah, exactly. You've got no guides, no rules, and this is a beautiful thing. It's art, but what we're trying to help people with, and what we're trying to teach is, you know, there's pockets in the industry, in every side of the music industry, not just where we are within the sort of dance side and with the house music. There's pockets. So trying to work out kind of where you think you can fit within that. That's crucial even at the beginning, rather than being, I kind of like progressive melodic house, but I also like minimal deep tech, and I like funky house, and piano house. To try and come through and build and grow as an artist like that, it doesn't work. It doesn't work, and if it does, it's going to just spoil momentum. The road to getting there will be all over the place. If it's more considered and driven, okay, you can achieve your goals clearer. So you've got to have that mindset to begin with, right? So it's even knowing where you're going. So I think if you're learning and you go, well, that's kind of where I want to be, then that whole side of referencing, analysing, trying to copy someone's work. You could try and copy your favourite artist's track note for note, and it still won't sound exactly the same.
No.
You know, because you're making different choices within that when you're picking sounds, when you're shaping your bass lines, whatever you're doing.
Totally, yeah.
But trying to understand that will help you. It will help you figure things out of how that sort of music, you used this word earlier, I'm pretty sure, like vibe and how it feels and stuff like that.
Yeah,
you know?
100%. Talking about how it feels, something that actually changed my direction was actually feeling my tracks by playing them out. So my first few releases, they were more like that big room, like Toolroom sound or whatever. And then when I was playing DJ sets, so when I was writing, I was like, that's my sound. When I was just sitting in my studio. And then when I go out and play, I'm like, maybe that's not my sound actually.
100%.
Maybe that's not what I want to actually DJ behind the deck. So I guess you've also got the sort of thing of, are you just going to be someone who's just writing tunes? Or are you someone who's going to be an artist with a profile that wants to write your tunes and DJ at the same time, and those things have to sort of like work together?
100%, yeah.
You've got that side of it as well.
Definitely. So like what I was saying, to round that up, like if you're learning, that whole side of copying, research, analytical, that's different to that creative bit. When you get to that bit and you can start being a bit more creative and thoughtful about the music, exactly that. Considering things like this, and it's actually going, okay, I love this artist, whether it's Mark Knight, Mal P, you know, Chloe Calais, whoever it is, you just think you really love. Yeah. And you go, what they do, their kind of sound, that's the sort of thing I want to do. Great, you've got that sort of direction. Yeah. But then you need to go, yeah, but also, is that what I'm currently doing? Do I currently make stuff like that? Do I DJ out? And when I DJ out, am I taking gigs locally? Because that's what I have access to. Do I get to play what I want to play? You've got to consider all of these things, because at the end of the day, when you start to grow as an artist and you have a sound, then you're getting booked and people expect you to give that. Yeah. So you've got to play your music, DJ, that kind of sound.
Totally. What's your advice, for example, if you say someone has their sound and they've been releasing music and then they're like, I don't want to do this anymore. I want to pivot to, maybe you're writing tech house and you want to go and write house instead. what's your advice for sort of that? Like, would you start a new alias?
Yeah,
or is that one
one
that maybe as releases go on, do you gradually sort of seek into that sound, combining the two styles?
And this is the thing, it's hard for me to give. Sometimes I have such a cop out of rather than just giving a straight answer on this.
Deep end there.
It's because, well, the thing is, because I suppose I'm always thinking, if I'm spending a lot of time with individual artists through mentoring and talking to them about their own situations, because creatively, artists will do this as a knee-jerk reaction.
Yeah,
we're a bit like magpies sometimes.
They hear a good tune they like, and they're like, actually, that's my side now.
Exactly. It's something new and shiny and exciting. And artists, especially when you're developing, you can tend to jump around a bit, because doing the same thing, making the same music week in, week out, week out, that can creatively stifle you. And so I often say to people, and it's hard because we've all got a different amount of time, but it's okay to like just make a piano house track on the side and not do anything with it. Like, let that creativity out and have fun doing it and make some other stuff. But the main thing you're pushing with, that's the main thing you focus with. Now, you've just got to ask yourself serious, honest questions. If you really want to shift and change, why is that? And is it because of a realisation of you've been out on the road and played some gigs and you're just, actually, I'm not quite feeling this live? Is it you being pulled over because of friends, because of your crew are all going out that way? Is it just because that seems to be the bigger trend that's coming big? Because every different style, every different subgenre of house isn't going to just disappear. You know, some of those ones that are trends that just pop in out of nowhere, they eventually become something else.
They do,
And you can flow and follow that. And I think what you said, it's a more considered approach. I've managed artists, so Engine Room Management, Toolroom's artist management agency. So I was managing the artists right at the beginning of that, at the birth of that. Artists like Vice, Proc and Fitch, Adrian Hour, Mark, Juliet Fox. And some of those guys moved and transitioned. And it was a big, honest conversation of like, okay, you sure you want to move that way? And it was like, okay. And we did a real considered approach and actually went, what's the dream label you want to release on then? And they were like, Hot Creations. And I was like, okay, going from the music you're doing now to get to Hot Creations is a process. It's going to take 3-4 years.
So
and we worked out a roadmap and trying to get to labels that are a bit more that sound, a bit more underground, and slowly did it. It was considered. So you've got to accept that it's not going to happen overnight if you've built a profile. Because that's the other thing to consider. I think a lot of artists that essentially haven't become a breakthrough artist, so they're still, you know, let's just use, you know, pigeonhole. Let's call it more of a bedroom DJ. You're a bedroom artist. You're still producing at home, but you're out there buzzing. You're DJing locally and stuff.
You've got that opportunity.
If you've been self-releasing, if you've been just self-releasing a few small releases, it's not going to be the end of the world. It might affect some momentum.
Know really who you are, do they?
And I think in that journey, like going back to our original thing, to find your sound, you are going to shift around. You are going to try some different things, I think, because it's okay.
You're going to figure what you enjoy writing as well.
Totally. I don't think everyone's going to sit down at the start and just go, I want to be that, releasing that sort of music on those labels, doing those sorts of gigs at that point, and go, okay, that's what I'm going to do. And then that's it. They're doing that 10, 15 years later. There's going to be some movement getting there.
It's rare that happens.
You know, we had it with an artist, Wheats, you know, really talented producer.
I mean, it's the polar opposite now, isn't it?
It was very much sort of the Toolroom sound, and you know, we was really sort of behind him, and he was starting to go on tour with Mark and stuff. But he had that realization. I mean, he was like, I actually really want to do more minimal, more underground, deep tech. And he made that switch. You know, he followed his heart.
It's probably more common than we think. I think even if you look at who we were just speaking about, Crusy, I think he started on almost EDM-y and then moved towards that Toolroom tribal tech, and then he also has these tracks that are more club-like, I guess. I wouldn't say they're minimal, but they're that sort of like stripped back, more clubby digital compared to the tribal stuff. And now he's in he's got a new era right now, isn't he? With
this is really interesting.
And feels much better, and it's still kind of got that rawness to it, but it's moving into a housey direction instead.
So I feel Crusy's an anomaly to the conversation we're having of saying, right, you need to think about this, you need to think about that. I do feel he is almost like one of these modern artists
that can pivot between all the styles.
He's like a shapeshifter.
There's nothing he can't do.
Is he real? Is he human? I don't know. Who knows? But he manages to move around a bit.
Yeah.
You know, and his sound will suddenly go quite tough, minimal. There's a techno edge, and then there's this real summery thing, and it's like.
So would you say because he's at that size, he can afford to
I think some artists are able to do this through lots of other things that back it up.
Cool.
And I think it's talent. The guy's just super talented.
Yeah.
I think he's such a nice, approachable, friendly guy. His networking skills are unrivaled. So he's always chatting out there, and his branding, his social media, it's all so on point. So that helps drive
everything else
that.
Is so cohesive.
Yeah, and you know, and when he first started and got that, like when you said selector, and it was very that sort of Toolroom sound, and that followed. He didn't just sort of go, oh, actually, I'm doing this summery thing and this more techno-y thing. There was a few years of just that driving,
and that was sort of like
house.
The breakthrough sort of sound, wasn't it? Yeah.
So he does move around a little bit. It's really interesting. So you can, I think there isn't a set road, a set rule. You know, if you're watching this and you're like, oh, okay, I'm going to have to just go that one way. At the end of the day, you've got to do you, and you've got to be the one that fully believes in that and fully drives it.
100%.
But I think our advice would be just.
I was going to ask, what's your top 3 tips?
It would be to just avoid jumping real different subgenres. The key is when you're breaking through. So let's put an explanation on that term.
Okay.
So, because we throw a lot of these words around and go like the industry, the scene, and what do we mean by that? You know, because essentially, I think we're in a different world now, and artists are building themselves solo as well through self-releasing, through doing their own promotion, their own networking. But essentially, if you're saying the industry and it sits up here. The kind of gigs you want to be playing, the labels you want to get signed to, the DJs that you want playing your music. You're trying to break through to get onto that tier. So it's almost like, I don't know, I'm saying there's like a little ceiling here, a plasterboard ceiling. We're trying to push through and get onto there. Now, whilst you're climbing that ladder, that is when you don't want to be a bit of everything.
So as you gain momentum,
as you're gaining
that's
momentum,
when you're not changing it.
I think that's the minute you start taking it seriously, and you're sending demos out to labels, and you've built up something, whether it's loads of local gigs, and you're trying to get warm-up gigs at other spots in your nearest city, and you're pushing. At that point, you want to go, this is who I am.
This is who I'm breaking through with.
This is who I am. This is my sound. This is my vibe. And when you start to break through, that's when the industry sort of go, who's this? And you start getting, there's the big players are recommending you, talking about you. You start getting on some radio shows, podcasts. You start to get signed to those labels. That's the really pivotal moment where you've got to be consistent with your sound, so that people know who you are and what to expect from you. I think, like circling back, I want to circle right back now because it's coming back. Sometimes I go so wide, so far. But I want to circle back to this whole thing of your sound as well. And the thing I would say with that is like, who are you? Because remember earlier I went, your sound is just you.
Yes.
But who are you? Like, what's your influences? What's your passion? Because I can sit here now. Anyone who knows me from going back, I've actually released a bit of everything.
Plenty of music,
but a bit of everything. So I can talk firsthand. This like some prog stuff, like sort of the old Dead Mouse fifth chords. I've done funky driving house, big room tech, piano house.
Nice.
I've sort of jumped around, so seeing firsthand how that doesn't help. And then when it comes to a point of actually like trying to actually finish some of my music for once and get something out a few years ago with that last track, I did that for me.
I was always tell you were being you.
I did that for me, and it was like, I'm not trying to be an artist. I've got my career. And I absolutely love what I do, but I need that outlet. I want to put music out. And I went, well, who am I? What am I? I'm 90s obsessed. I'm stuck in that era. That's who I was. I brought up, and that's what influenced me.
I think that's
90s rave, the hardcore scene. So that's what's going to come out in my music.
I think that's such a real thing to do, but it can also be quite hard for people to do that as well, because sometimes you're sitting there, you're listening to references, whatever, and you're trying to write something, and it's you, but you might be thinking, are other people gonna like this, or other labels gonna like this, but it resonates with you. So would you say just fully go in on that, lean on that? Because you've obviously you kind of want to be on labels, don't you? You want to be getting played by DJs, so you almost kind of have to fit somewhere at the same time as well.
Yeah, that's the real thing.
It's a hard thing to do, isn't it?
That's the real thing. And
you.
Totally.
Yeah.
That is the real thing, because you're going to have you're going to hear some inspirational talks from people, artists, panels at music conferences, and people are going to say, no, just be you, just do it for the art, do it for that. But sometimes it can even hold you back in a way, because you could make a track and just have this creative idea, but it could be real Marmite.
Yeah, people might just not get it.
Yeah, and it could be something that's not normally done in that scene, like that type of vocal or that type of sample on that track. There's a 50-50 chance you could create something new and fresh and go, wow, this is cool, and everyone could like it. But that has to be a personal decision. And I think if it's not connecting, then there's a reason why.
Yeah.
And I think this is that balance, going back to what we said at the start, of referencing and copying. It's like, well, if that guy's always putting in, they always seem to be old school hip hop vocals in their tracks.
Yep.
That's what I'll do. It's like, do I like that?
Yeah, or am I just doing it because he's doing it? Yeah.
Because I know it myself.
Well.
It's not. I'll listen to a track, I'll dance to a track, and I'll play a track with a bit of hip hop vocals in it. But it's not my love.
No.
I wouldn't put it in my music. I'm not drawn to it, so I know that's me. I think you could almost do like a review of yourself, as we call it, the brand DNA exercise. Like, work out who you are. What are your interests? What was your influences before? Can you incorporate that in your music now?
It's always a fun thing to do as well, isn't it?
Yeah,
like,
totally.
If I'm looking back at my old background, listening to metal music, I can try and incorporate that music. But it's not always going to work. But
yeah.
That's also
I've not heard you on the electric guitar in one of your tracks recently.
No,
actually.
It needs to get done. But
yeah, in serious though, you've got to try and bring that through. Because at the end of the day, you've got to love your music. I know it sounds cheesy, but you've got to love it. You've got to love what you do.
Otherwise, you're going to be halfway through the track and you're going to lose that motivation to do it.
Totally. You've got to fully love it, because this is what you're going to be doing and putting out to the world and sharing it. If it's not fully authentic,
you're not even going to want to promote it, are you? Like, as much.
Yeah,
because you're not resonating with that, and you're almost like hiding behind it as well.
I think the thing now as well, people that connect with your music, the supporters, whether that is, peers and people in the industry that are going to help support you and give you opportunities, or you're starting to build your own fan base, people can just read through it now.
Yeah, they can.
In authenticity.
You can sniff it out, can't you?
I can't believe I said that word
in
correctly the first time. I was struggling with that word. But you just said it, they can sniff it out.
They can, yeah.
There's something, isn't it? You can even sense it on social media. When you watch reels, posts, you can see whether someone is like...
coming through, can't you? Yeah. Yeah,
if it feels a bit staged.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And I think there's the same that with music.
Yeah,
there really is.
For sure.
I mean, look, I don't know if we've actually fully covered that and helped. I know I've gone round the houses in that area, because there is so much to think about. But ultimately,
it's a journey, isn't it? At the end of the day,
it's a journey. I think what you've got to accept is that you will move around and try things creatively. That's okay. But just remember that when you're trying to achieve something, if you set that as your goal, try not to steer off that path too much.
100%.
And realise those things. And like, spend a lot of time really understanding. If you say, I kind of know where I want to be, like I want to be part of that scene, that sound.
Those parties.
The more minimal
labels,
deep tech, those labels. Then get to know it.
Yeah, 100%.
Like, seriously get to know it. You need to like swat up.
Yeah.
And you should want to, because that should be your passion, if you know what I mean.
Live it as well. You go to the events, network with the people as well. 100%. And that's a whole other thing for another episode, isn't it? Going out there, networking, living it. But I mean, I think we've covered a fair bit of that.
It's a big topic. I think we could sit here and talk the entire time just on this topic.
We could talk for
hours
on this. Yeah.
It is huge. And I think the key, like I said again, just don't panic too much. Set yourself some goals and get out and start enjoying it, making that music, playing that music. See how you feel with it,
100%.
Don't be afraid to jump, but do it for the right reasons if you want to change and develop as well.
Yeah, definitely. Don't just jump on the trends. Do it because you love it,
That in my experience has been some of the biggest mistakes, is when you jump on those trends and try and shift too much. I
feel like the trends are getting faster and faster as well. Like, I feel like trends used to last a few years, but now it's like a year, 6 months. It's getting shorter and shorter.
It feels like that. It does. I think you're right. I feel like trends, let's label it as that. Like, when a sound comes through, I think when it becomes really big and like to the point with the masses, and suddenly that music, those things are just selling these events that are absolutely huge. The next sound that's coming through is already bubbling.
Yeah,
it's already bubbling and then starting to come up
100%.
As well. You know, you see things moving around again, don't you? What's your prediction on next year's trend? Musically,
man, ghetto house.
Ghetto house. Okay, we're seeing a massive like people coming back to that funky filtered disco house again.
Yeah,
it's never really gone anywhere.
No, it's always. I mean, it's always been sitting there even on Toolroom, hasn't it?
Yeah,
but,
totally.
I mean, it is. You can feel that coming back through again, 100% the disco house.
And I think that's something to remember, you know, good music, it never really disappears.
No.
The trends can come and feel like that's the only thing dominating the scene, but everything else is still going on.
Yeah, 100%,
it's still there. Yeah. It's just that's become more commercially in the focus, you know?
Like even though those trends of, you know, hard house and Afro house have just kind of been, they're always going to be there, aren't they?
Yeah,
and then
totally.
They'll come back round in
and they're not the only thing dominating now.
No, exactly.
You know, it's worth considering. So before we continue, if you're watching this podcast, you're probably a dance music producer trying to break through. And that's exactly why we created the Toolroom Academy Production Certificate course. It's an online program that certainly changed the game in house music education. Over 3 months, we write a track together to a professional level. You receive professional A&R feedback and technical feedback along the way every single week. And you'll join a really supportive, genuine community of like-minded producers as well. Our students have gone on to get signed to labels like Toolroom, Armada, Spinning, Nervous, Solid Grooves. They've started DJing in boiler rooms and touring internationally. If that sounds like the next step for you, check out toolroomacademy.com for more info. Should we listen to some music?
Let's do it. Let's dive in.
I think we should listen to some music. Let me just plug in here. Check what we're doing. So let's listen. We got some alumni tracks here, haven't we? Let's explain the Academy alumni.
Yeah, I mean, so essentially when you've been through one of the interactive Toolroom courses, so that could be the Production Certificate, Creativity Unlocked, Remix Masterclass, there's a ton, you can check them out on the website. When you go through that course, you then get added to our alumni group, which means you get fast track demo submission, where essentially we get, hundreds, almost like 1,000 demos a week through the label radar. It is crazy. But basically, if you're in the alumni portal, we get it straight through our inbox, skips the queue, and we try and get round to it within 21 days. Normally it's faster. And give some
feedback as well, don't you? You go back with
normally give some in-depth feedback. And it's good as well because rather than it being label radar where you're kind of just replying through there, it's through email. You know, we build a connection with you as well. But we have the alumni portal now, and we're just going to jump through a few tunes, aren't we? Give some A&R feedback in there.
Definitely.
It's what we love doing as well. We do it at the conferences, the A&R feedback.
So we like to listen to these on the fly and just see what we're vibing with and give a bit of feedback if we can. So I'm hoping it's going to all work. I just attempted to plug in the USB to my SD card. Why is it not recognising
That's a coin in the jar, Pete.
Here we go. Awesome. Right, so this is called Mi Ritmo or My Ritmo? What would you say? Mi Ritmo by Bala. Let's get in. A lot of flavour in that sample.
I know, isn't there?
Big snares.
I do like the vocal though.
It's got this has got vibes, right?
It does.
What's really interesting with this has got some really nice production.
Yeah.
Right, I've got some thoughts on this.
Yeah. It's a vibe though, isn't it? I feel like if you open up the dictionary and type Latin Tech House, then it's going to give you a link to that tune, isn't it?
Look, it's got all
the elements,
it's really creative. It's got all the elements.
Yep.
Do you know what I actually find on this one's really interesting? This could be a personal thing, but I find What's conflicting is the groove and the bass line and the drums are really tight and really aggressive, and the bass lines and the sample's so musical and so full that I'm like, are they working in harmony together?
That was my exact
And
thought.
the sample, 100%, it's so musical. There's a couple of bits somewhere, whether it's the horn or it's the key, that occasionally just hits one of the bass line notes and you go, not sure. But outside of that, I think the bigger picture is, by the time where we are now, the sample doesn't actually feel that exciting because it's just been in the whole time.
Yeah.
So the sample...
It needs something else, maybe in like the second half of the drop section, maybe the main.
Well, do you know what I'd do?
Break as well.
I wouldn't have the full sample over the groove.
Yeah.
Because if you think about it, the whole thing is given away with in the break. You get all that, and then this hard driving groove comes in, and that sample's still the same, still there. And then by the time we get to the main break, the second break, same thing again. We've got the sample the whole time. Now, just hear me out on this. That style of bass line and those sort of drums, it feels like you're in that more attitude-y, very sort of US tech house.
100%.
Yeah, that sort of Malp vibe.
It's angsty. It's a little bit angsty.
Yeah,
isn't
it's
it?
in that space. So what happens if you just went to groove and little chop bits of the sample in the groove, and then the sample is where it comes alive in the breaks.
100%.
And maybe I'd actually have a couple of small 2-4 bar breaks mid groove as well. It's one of those records where you go back to the sample, bam, back to the groove, a chop of it.
100%. I don't know if everything is together, if it's the vocal, piano, and the horns are all within the same sample. But I love the vocal. I think it's so cool. Lovely bit of flavour. But I think we thought the exact same thing. As soon as it kicked in with the groove, the bass, all those percussions on top of the piano and the brass in there as well, it was like, what am I trying to focus on right now? Everything was kind of sort of overlapping with each other. But that's a great shout. Yeah. What you said there, just using little sort of bits of it at the end of an 8-bar, 16-bar phrase, and then in those breaks, it'd be such a moment.
That's
if you just brought it down, and then you've got the brass there.
Do you know what I mean?
Hands up, and then it drops down, and then maybe on the drop you have some kind of brass hit.
Yeah, exactly.
Spills over, and then you just go into that groove, and it's a proper moment.
Because we're like halfway through the main break. I know we're sitting in a stale environment. We're not in the club. It doesn't feel quite the same. But I'm sort of starting to skip through because it's like the sample's not as exciting as it could be in this moment because it's been in from
the whole time.
Break one the whole time. Make it more of a moment in the breaks and stuff.
Great
so
idea.
I think the creativity, the idea is wicked. I love the groove. I love the bass line.
Yeah.
I would just execute it a bit differently.
Yeah, 100%.
And again, it's to suit that style, which comes back to what we were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's gold sample as well. Really, really catchy stuff as well. I still have the brass going round in my head.
I'm going to for the rest of the day. I'm going to go home and do that little two-step and go into my kitchen and come back a couple of steps as I reach for the mug.
Oh, man.
My wife's going to look at me just like, what are you doing?
You're going to grab her and spin her.
Honestly,
it lends itself to that though, doesn't it?
The thing is, we laugh about this, but this happens to me all the time. I spend all day like working with students, listening to their music, hearing their samples, and I go home and I'm driving home or I'm just sitting there watching TV and I'll just be literally like, and it pops, just comes out. Well, that's when they know they're onto a good sample.
You've got a good hook, and that's one of those things. It's making us imagine something, imagine a story, and that's what you want, isn't it? So
you're not going to see me and Cal get up and do a little flamenco number now. All right, that's not happening.
Not this
nice
time.
Though, nice one, Bala.
Nice one, mate.
I hope I'm pronouncing that right as well. I say that every time. The fear of pronouncing artist names incorrectly.
I know.
I really feel that. I feel the pressure. Right, let's do another. Right, I'm going to just click in some random links here to see what we've got.
Takuro.
Right. Takuro. Okay.
Takuro is great. Takuro, since I actually started at the team at Toolroom, Takuro's been sending in demos all the time. And he's cool because every single demo that he's sent in, you can hear that he's taking on the feedback that we've given him.
Nice.
And every single demo gets better and better and better. And Takuro has released on Leaders of the New School as well. So,
wicked.
I'm keen to hear this one. It's going to be chunky, I can imagine.
All right, let's do it.
Oh, that threw me off a little bit, the way the claps landed there. Yeah, it needs something there though, doesn't it?
The groove is sick on this.
It's unbelievable.
When you nail a groove, Mark always says this as well, at Toolroom, you can see it. Like physically, you watch an A&R meeting, they play a track, and the groove's wicked, and everyone's just going.
Yeah.
And they start looking at each other, doing the scrunch
everyone's
face.
feeling
You're
it.
locked in.
You are.
The groove on that Takuro is absolutely banging. Now the vocal, I don't mind the vocal. I'm not a massive personal fan of it, but I think it's been overused.
Right, okay.
So it's coming in quite a lot. I think that was the 4th time we heard it by then, and it's the same thing.
Yeah.
And also getting the whole like sort of harmonies, the ad libs in the backgrounds. That
didn't feel needed. It kind of took it away from the position that
and it was in the build as well.
Yeah.
And I'm like, but that for me just needs a hook. And I know you don't always have to do it. Some tracks can be about the groove and the vocal. But you said it yourself, both of us naturally, that 8 bars before the break, we both went, and I was expecting just a little clave.
Yeah.
Little ding,
just
ding, ding,
like a delicate,
ding,
like pitched
ding, ding.
sort of noise or a
Just
whoop,
a
like
simple hook.
some tiny synth or percussive hit.
Because I then think if you did that, personally, I think you could take this record to a new level. Or if you went for a full stab, because then that whole break could be vocal and then hook. Because at the moment, that vocal is not working in the build. It's just doing its whole speech. And then it does the speech again, but with the whole ooh in a build. Whereas the vocal, for instance, I'm not saying this is not how it has to be, but the vocal could then hand over to a musical hook or percussive hook, and that becomes the classic big tech house build.
Tells a little bit more of a story as well. Yeah, I feel like that final build as well, you were just waiting for something
big.
Yeah, just
and suddenly
something
it came
extra
down
there.
and went to the ooh, and it was wrong energy.
100%. So
the vocal should set something else up.
Yeah, 100%. Bit of question and answer in there as well. Easy.
Yeah, because the groove's wicked.
Oh, it's
both
like it makes you move in a specific way. Like you move with the rhythm. Yeah, it's sick, wicked groove, isn't it?
Really, really cool. Really interesting vocal. Someone's probably watching this going, "Oh, that's so and so." I don't know where it's from. It sounds like something. Something big that I should know who that is, artist wise. But I think it just needs to happen, probably like 2 or 3 times in the record, and then it sets up the next thing, and then the hook. That'll be killer then.
Yeah, I mean, it's close, isn't it? You know,
it's artist prerogative. Takuro might want to produce it without that, and it'd be just groove and vocal. But I'd still say the vocal needs to be in just a couple of places and those high energy parts. But
wicked track.
Let's do another. We've got time for another?
Yeah, let's do one more.
Let's do another one. Right, let's hit. Is that the same link? I can't tell.
There's a really big old one.
Bam, 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 bam. Here we go. Right.
Don
Vagabond. Okay. IMY. That obviously stands for something, and I don't understand what that stands for.
I
had to do this the other day. Someone, honestly, I'm just getting old. Someone sent me an abbreviation on a message the other day, and I was like,
what does BRB mean?
No, do you know what? I'm not that bad. That's like when my mum used to put LOL. She was thinking it was lots of love.
Oh, after every single message.
So it was like it was like something like, and it would be in the really wrong context of the message, you know. But it's someone sent me something the other day. I don't know what it was. I don't want to admit what it was. And I was like looking at it for ages going, what is that an abbreviation? And I had to Google it. Is IMY an abbreviation of something?
Oh, it must be.
Or is it just IMI? I don't know. Anyway, let's do it. Let's hit the play button. Right.
You can imagine this being played in like this sphere.
Yeah.
With like crazy graphics going on.
Some serious hands in the air now.
I thought it was going to be I Miss You. IMY.
There we go. Thank you. So that's interesting.
Oh, I would have pitched that up earlier, but
this is really interesting.
Yeah,
so it's because the musical parts change. That stab's gone. I don't personally think that drop works for me.
No.
the whole build up and the vocal and the bass chords and everything, and then suddenly to go to that deal, that feels like a build, and but it feels like a drop as well. I'm a bit lost in that. I really like this. I think the sound, the vocals really nice. There's some tidying up it needs. The vocals going out of time. So after the first phrase, when it goes into the second one, it just goes a little bit loose. It needs to get super tight. So hard with vocals with this when they're really tight.
Yeah.
And then the next phrase, it goes out a bit.
And sometimes you can warp it and it looks in line, but it's still out of time. It can be a nightmare,
sometimes some of these
really.
ones you almost have to get in like syllables with warp markers.
Yeah.
That needs tightening up there, and then it's this new different stab. Do you remember hearing it in the first half? There was one stab that went bow bow and just came in.
Yeah, and that wasn't really part of the track almost. Yeah.
And that threw me a little bit. And I just think this is really cool creativity, trying to be a bit different with that. But it just felt a little bit outside of the rest of the record. Yeah. And that drop for me, going to that idea.
I can see what you're trying to do with it though, like create that massive moment in there.
It's just I didn't feel as a listener that was you were taking me to that.
No.
You can have the unexpected, but it's still got to feel like it's part of it.
I think the thing is, there's so many elements in this track. It just needs a bit of simplification because the elements are there that can make this an absolutely banging record.
Yeah,
it's got everything it needs in there. Maybe just take a few elements out. Simplify the synth as well. I think that's the key
do
one.
That.
Because
I think it's coming up with
your
rules, isn't it? Like we often say on the courses, what we sometimes do. I don't know if you still do it. I think you do. We've had this conversation. I know I do it. If I'm working on an idea and I've got like an 8-bar groove going, before I arrange, I'll do 48 bars.
Oh yeah, every time.
So and it's so quick to do. Just do 16 bars of groove, 16 bar break, build, drop, 16 bar groove.
Figure out the climax of your track and then go back from there.
And then the arrangement's easier. And I think within that, you can work out your rules and go, well, my main groove will be this and this vocal. When the synth's in, the vocal comes out. You work out these rules, and I feel like there might just be one too many with that drop there. Yeah. I don't want to say don't do it. I just think you need to simplify it, like Cal said, to make it work, Don, on that drop. If I'm going to be really picky, I'd say the main break, it's the same idea for quite a long time of the vocal, just doing the same thing. I feel like you could break that up.
Or anything,
And like, if you're going to do 16 bars and that vocal's doing that, then at some point, just stop everything, and then it goes to a build or bass chords. Like, break it up a bit. It feels a bit long.
Yeah,
but
I agree.
I love the sounds. I love the vibe.
It's cool. I mean, we were saying it was almost like a fuse between sort of proggy house, but also the John Somity stuff, but also kind of the US tech house stuff that's coming through that's like almost a little bit electro. Yeah. It was like this really cool fuse, which worked. I think the style definitely worked.
And do you know what? When we're talking about people having a sound... That's quite interesting because we're able to go, this feels like it fits there and it's got a bit of that vibe, but we've not gone, that sounds exactly like someone.
And this is interesting because Don, obviously I've gone through quite a few of his demos, and this is his sound. This is his sound, and you know that he's figured it out.
I like that.
It's great to hear.
I like that. And can I just say big up for Don's profile picture on SoundCloud. Someone that smiles. I like the fact it's smile. It's a smiley pic. Smiley pics are the way forward. For, I'm all for a serious press shot, but a bit of a smiley one.
It's rare, isn't it?
It's nice. We're just all looking at you with a bit of a smile. Don's looking at us, giving us a smile while we're playing it. I'm here for that. Oh, wicked stuff. Look, really cool. Keep sending your tracks in, alumni, and you never know, on the next podcast we'll pick out some of your tracks, we'll play them. And we said this at the start as well, get involved. Leave some comments on the videos, drop us, let us know some topics that you guys think we could cover in here as well, things that you want to talk about, because we're totally up for that sort of input as well.
Yeah, obviously it's the Artist Breakthrough podcast, isn't it? So it's more to do with artist development, sort of your identity as an artist, troubles you may come across. We thought about even speaking about stuff like contracts and all that as well.
Yeah,
like just
things that you might be experiencing in what you're doing. Like, how do I even start to get out there as a DJ and push through? How do I even start to think about sending my music? Should I self-release my music? Or hey guys, what should I look out for in contracts? Anything that you're experiencing, I suppose, whilst you're trying to grow and climb as well.
The whole journey.
It's the whole journey. So now, if you're listening to this, you probably already know that being a great producer or DJ is just part of the journey now. These days, breaking through takes so much more as well. From social media and brand building to online marketing, music business, getting gigs and networking as well. That's why we built the Toolroom Academy Artist Development Masterclass program. It's a 12-month program that takes you through it all. You've got over 200 hours of video tutorial content, plus live calls every week and regular mentoring check-ins to keep you on track. So if you're serious about your career in dance music, head to toolroomacademy.com to find out more info. We should continue the conversation a little bit as well. Let's do it, because I think I think this links a little bit to what we were talking about before, about my sound and getting started and all these sorts of things that you have to consider. And do you remember when I was just saying about when you're coming up and you're trying to become a breakthrough artist?
Yes.
So you're trying to actually network and get to know the scene and try and make connections and get out there, because once you get on that treadmill, things can start to happen.
Snowballs,
right?
Doesn't it? It does snowball.
And it's an interesting thing. Someone said to me recently, and they've said this to you, I know as well, like, oh, I'm at this kind of crossroads, and like, should I fully go for it, or I'm really struggling to hold things together down with a job and this and family. And I think there's so many areas we could talk about within that.
Yeah.
Almost like
It's endless.
Like, when do I go for it? When do I take that leap? You know?
Yeah. Everyone does it at a different stage as well, don't they?
Yeah.
Because it can depend on your circumstances as well. Are you living at home? Do you have a family? Are you just starting off as well? How many DJ gigs do you have? There's no one right answer, is there?
There isn't no one right answer, because I think someone said to you, like, oh, should I quit my job?
Yeah.
Should I quit my job and go all in? And it's like,
I've heard it a few times just through the emails from past students and stuff like that. But it's
a
massive
decision, isn't it? And
but it is the dream of so many people.
It is the dream. It is the dream. But I think the reality is just that even when you are becoming a breakthrough, even those artists that you see a lot on social media, you see are starting to get booked and big, it's not all just suddenly like pouring in terms of money.
I mean, one that comes to the top of my head.
That's not the way it just works instantly.
Yeah, one that comes to the top of my head, I'm sure you know the example, is Hannah Lang, who has obviously been smashing the game, like getting played on Radio 1, playing gigs all around the world, and she's only, maybe last year, 2 years ago or something, stopped working in a dentist.
Yeah, I think she was
and still had that full-time career whilst doing all of that as well.
I think she had, I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure I remember she was actually having one of her quite big interviews on Radio 1 with someone, and she was actually in on the show, and she was literally like,
just on work.
Or she'd said like, I've only just stopped. I've only just stopped. And I remember there was another female artist as well, and they were saying the same thing, saying they'd only just quit working. It was somewhere like a restaurant, and they were like, big up the crew from the restaurant they worked at and stuff. And I think people were a bit like, wow, they were almost surprised, because they've seen their name, the people that are really paying attention to what's going on, they've seen their name how they see it quite high up for a while. So I think you've got to realise that it's even when you start to become a breakthrough, it's still a long slog. There's still a climb. There's still a lot of work to be done, And
I think I feel like the obvious thing to speak about is like the financial side of things. Like, am I going to have enough money? But I think one of the things as well, when you quit that job and you decide to do music, the mental load that it can put on you, because it's like, now I have to do this. And are you going to be able to handle with all that pressure of having to write good music, having to get the next DJ gig? That's a massive thing as well.
That's going to change. That will change your drive, which in turn will change your creativity, your love for it, the way you look at it.
100%.
So I think you've got to be totally careful with that.
I think it's changing it from a hobby to a job.
Yeah. Yeah, essentially it is, which, like you said, will change the way you think about it, change the way your mindset. So you've got to weigh up your own individual circumstances there. Can you afford it? Do you still live at home? If you do quit your job, what's the change that's going to happen? Do you suddenly think you're going to have loads more time to produce? Are you someone that is going to fully go for it and put 100% and have a plan of how you're going to do it? Because essentially, Mark said this in, I think it was one of our Toolroom Academy live events. And he said to someone, you're setting up a business.
Yeah.
You as the artist, You're the business.
Yeah.
Now, if you were going to launch a business, if you were going to go on Dragon's Den and try and go, I've come up with this and everything, by then you've probably piled loads of money into it, loads of time into it, and you're going for it. And you're going to be willing to do everything you can to make it work. You're trying to make contacts. You've got to think of it like that.
Yeah.
It's like, if you're taking it seriously, it's going to be your career, then this is going to be a business. And so you don't just go, oh yeah, I'm just gonna
do music full time.
Do you know what I mean? Or I'm just gonna go and open that coffee shop over the road there. It's like, well, hang on a minute. Have I done a business plan? Can I actually afford this? Have I done all that? You're going to do those things to kind of work
100%.
towards that. So you're right, 100%. It's financials. The thing is, it's hustle, right? Hustle. Being an artist and trying to get where you want to be is hustle, and it's more about how much hustle you can do, because it's you that's got to do it.
Yep.
You're not going to just suddenly get a manager and a DJ agent that's going to come along and do work for you, okay? That hustle, but how do you make that work in your life and your situation? And you have to realise, like Mark and other people, they'll tell you this, that they sacrificed a lot. They missed, important friends' birthdays and family events and going out because they were sacrificing that hustle, that grind, that
100%.
really want that, and that's the reality. You've got to understand that's going to happen. It's not just going to happen because you quit that job. That job's probably helping finance things that you need to invest in, but
it's figuring out that balance as well. Because if say you were doing a job like 5 days a week, and then what is your time going to be going into as well? It's figuring out that whole new schedule, because content is such a massive part of the game now as well. It's like, are you filling 3 days out for content? What are you going to do with that? I know people do Patreons as well, and that seems to pay the bills for them as well, giving out sample packs on their Patreon, doing live sessions. That's another good way to do it as well. But you've got the content, and then you've got going out and networking as well, fitting the parties in there as well.
Totally. And this costs money.
This does.
This costs money.
Unless
if you want to go out
list.
and go to events and you want to go to music conferences, I'd say if people feel they can adapt, but always have, my advice would be always trying to have a stream of income and always have a backup plan, even as an artist. Even when you feel you're actually a breakthrough artist and you're making it and you're going for it, have something to fall back on. So have a skill, have something that you think, I can offer if this doesn't work out.
Yeah.
And I don't mean to be like pessimistic, but I'm saying
no, it's real, isn't it?
It's real. And you should think like that and make sure that you do have that and have something else to fall back on.
Yeah.
But only you individually will be able to tell that point. The point is, when you physically, you cannot do what you need to do in the time you've got. It's impossible. You cannot achieve it all. You're starting to get gigs here, there and everywhere, and having to constantly actually take time off work. When it gets to that point, that's when you go,
the point, isn't it?
Okay, I've got to think about this and how to do that,
Do you think where you live has an effect on this?
Oh, that's a really good point. Yeah, definitely. I think sometimes we talk about like going to conferences and networking, and people go, well, I live in the middle of the desert or whatever, and it's like, it's quite hard to actually do that.
Yeah.
And again, there's no right or wrong here, but we've worked with a lot of artists who they sacrifice and give up everything and move to a city where it's really happening. Yeah. I'm pretty sure that's what Crusy did,
I think he moved from, was it Bilbao to Madrid? I think he did.
Yeah, because to be in a city that there is a scene, and that's what he really wanted to be a part of. But it does play a big part of it. And, we can only give those experiences and bits of advice. It's everyone's individual scenarios.
Yeah. Something that I've done now as well.
Yeah, there you go. You're a living example of this right now.
Yeah. I mean, I was obviously in Aberdeen, which was a city, to be fair, but there was only so much going on there. And then I moved down to Maidstone, obviously, for a Toolroom. But now we're in London, and
now you're loving living in London.
I know, and it's within living in London for about a month, and wasn't really doing gigs in Maidstone, and straight away as soon as you move into London, gigs are happening. So it is one of those things when you do live in one of those bigger cities.
And that was a scary move, right? When you first came down from Aberdeen.
Yeah, it was. But it was also so exciting because it's one of those things, you're also working in the music industry, which is obviously, if you are going to have a job and then try and do it at the same time, working in the music industry is also a great way to do it as well.
Yeah.
But I mean, couldn't be around a better team.
Oh, bless you,
Right
mate.
people.
I think you're living proof of that if you really want something and you do make those sacrifices and go for it.
Yeah.
I think the key with that, of going all in, is understanding the mental load and that mental toll you said at the start.
100%. Well, when I lived in Maidstone, because I was DJing full time, I was doing music full time, but I was lucky because I was living at home. So it's one of those things. And then I moved down to Maidstone, wasn't really doing any gigs. And it's that switch. And I think it's also allowing yourself, not putting too much pressure onto yourself, allowing things to actually happen. Good things take time. I think that's a massive thing in there as well.
Yeah, definitely. You've got to consider all these things. Because I think even just now, like, as new artists, even if you are just, however your situation is, you're living at home and you're just trying to build yourself, there's a lot to consider, especially now with having to become a brand and run social media and being your own marketer, as well as making music, promoting that music, networking gigs. It takes a lot to actually be a successful artist in this
Can you do it all?
current thing.
Can you do it all? Can you be a content king? Can you be a DJ and producer at the same time?
And that's not everyone. That's not for everyone. Not for everyone,
Good answer.
And we work with all different types of people across our courses. And what's really interesting, the artist development masterclass, I think artists, they learn a lot about themselves through that process.
Of course, yeah.
And they go all in. They start to really practice the new skills they're learning. Social media, how to use it effectively, how to create the sort of content, how to understand Spotify, getting their music on playlists and self-release, all these things. And then sometimes they realise where certain things they're really good at. Some of the things that actually they go, that really stresses me out. And in the mentoring calls we have, I'm like, look, it's okay, pull back on that a little bit and put the focus just on music. You're not giving up the social media, but just rein it down. Just one post a week for a while. It's okay. You've got to realise.
I suppose it's figuring out what's best for you as well.
Yeah,
and it's almost like going back to the sound choice and figuring out your identity, looking at what other people are doing as well can help as well. Looking at people that you relate with on social media as well, isn't it? Yeah. And then using that as a guide.
Yeah, totally. I think that going back to all of that, like research, analysing things, using things as guides, are really, really important. Yeah. And I think another big thing, this is something that's amazing within the academy, is the alumni and having like a support group. Yeah. I think that is such a big thing that I don't think we even realised it when we started the academy, going right back.
How big an impact that community would have.
And just how amazing it is, and what a wonderful thing it's grown to be. And just even when you take a step back and just see them like at academy live events, and all these people coming from all different parts of the world, they're all meeting up and chatting and now collaborating and helping each other out. And you see on the chats and on social media and on Instagram and Facebook them going, and they're all helping each other. Yeah. That support, I'm pretty sure that'll tell you, is something that's really changed things for them and helped them. So I think that's something, I think you need to think about that as new artists, like not just always that constant climb of networking and trying to get to know big DJs, big labels and stuff, but just look around
it's creating the real connections as well, isn't it?
Yeah. Totally.
100%.
Yeah, look around you for peers, because that support network is everything. People that are doing a similar thing to you at your level. Yeah. That is absolutely,
because you all learn off each other as well. I mean, you look at
100%.
Obviously, when I went through the academy and made some great friends, Hart, Laws, Altier, Alex Lautals, and then that was 4 years ago, and we are still best mates and speak every single day. We're constantly helping each other out with production tips. So it is just getting that community around you that are around a similar level as well, because you're all going to be bouncing stuff off each other.
And it's just it's the places that you'll meet and find that, and it's from your experience and that, it's been like you all met on one of the courses and stuff, doing that together. But you can even do that just going out to local gigs and events.
100%, yeah.
And start local, support the people that are trying to promote a night that they're trying to put a party on that's got a bit of a PIV Records feel, but they're just local guys. Go and support them, get to know them.
You never know what you can build with them as well in your local town.
100%. And you can make some absolute killer friends in the spotlight as well, right?
Which is what it's about.
Honestly, I think and to sort of wrap that out, because the biggest thing you've got to be careful of is kind of, let's call it burnout. That's one of the things you've got to be really, really careful with, because
that mental toll, isn't it?
It's the mental toll, but it can affect everything. It'll affect just your drive, your creativity, and everything. So you've got to realise what you can do and what you can't do. You know,
100%.
There are some people out there that manage to get up at 5 a.m. and do 2 hours social media before they then get ready to go to work at 7 and so on and then so on. But
they're better than me.
I was about to say that, they're better than me. You know, but not everyone is built for that. Like, realise what you can handle as well and what you can
focus on what you love as well.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
Shall we do some hot takes?
Let's do some hot takes. Come on, yeah. Hot takes. I feel like we need a little sound button for that little sound
We do.
bite.
Hot takes. We need an animation in there.
Right, come on.
Oh, so controversial. Let's start with this one. It's going to get the most debate. Ableton is not the best DAW. It's just the most hyped. Agreed.
Right, that had to come. That had to come from you.
It did.
It?
It did.
Right, Cal's a Logic user.
I am.
No, big up the Logic users. All right. I was once Logic and switched to Ableton because it's far superior.
Still to be convinced.
It's going to be a fist fight in a minute. We're going to be throwing everything around the desk here. Do you know what? I think the thing is, it depends what you're comfortable with. I know everyone always says this, but I know people that I'm like, oh, what did you make that tune on? And it's like, oh, Fruity Loops or something.
Yeah, I know.
Like,
it's crazy.
It's like, it's what you're comfortable with, and they're moving on so quickly. You know, Logic changed the game first with the stem separation. Now Ableton are coming through, and also doing like the splice and it's like everything's just constantly growing.
Yeah, 100%.
It's but I'm definitely Ableton.
Yeah. I mean, as a Logic user though, I do watch. I think in terms of dance music production, electronic music production, Ableton is just so intuitive, isn't it? Like, it's almost like you don't even have to think. Like, it's made for electronic music, isn't it?
I do feel for you're someone very, very starting out at the very beginning, it's quite easy and quick just to throw some loops in and get some vibes going. Yeah. But in all honesty, I think it's like depends what type of brain you've got. I reckon there's something scientific in this. I reckon if you analyse all the Logic users and the way their brain sort of works and Ableton, I reckon there'll be something in there.
I've found that a lot of the time the people that use Logic are almost more kind of like songwriters. I don't know if that's something to do with it as well, or maybe people who have had influences in other genres as well. A lot of those are kind of Logic-y, where it's Ableton.
Yeah, I think there's something.
Obviously, this isn't everyone. Again, case by case, but I feel like there's something in that as well.
Yeah, fair play. Fair play.
I mean, I think Logic's still the best.
Let us know what you think. Let's get a vote going.
Yeah, we're gonna. For those of you
that are watching this, all right, let's in the comments. I want to see a vote.
100%. Right, next one.
Go on.
Ooh, labels care more about your socials than your sound.
Oh, that's pretty harsh. Okay, so I would say in some major label in the pop music world, I've 100% seen and heard cases of that. Yeah. Once you come down to what is, tech house scene, I think there's probably some out there that care about it, but not more.
Yeah,
not
100%.
Ultimately, there's a whole. You see the spat online, and people go, "Oh, influencers are getting all the gigs and stuff." I'm like, "Oh, there's occasionally you see it. Like, who are those people? And they do like choreographed dance, and there's like two of them behind the decks, and they're doing choreography stuff. And it's like
that's you for you naturally speaking.
That's you and me. That's you and me, right?
Yeah,
we're gonna go and hire a studio in a minute and work out our little choreography, matching hats. But like there's a certain part of the scene where you see that occasionally, but reality is most labels are gonna, if they hear a track they love, I think you're gonna go and have a nose at socials just to go, what's this artist about?
Yeah,
I get a vibe from them? Who are they? Are they active? They're not gonna go, oh, they've only got 216 followers, we're not interested. They might go, oh, they've got a few thousand followers, that could help with the promotion, that's cool.
That's exactly it.
But they're not gonna, if anything, we'd go, okay, right, let's do the track, rah. How can we help with your socials? We've noticed you've not posted in a while. Can we give you some help, some advice,
Yeah, I mean, like when we get stuff sent through the alumni portal, and then it's a great track, and then it goes through the team, we sign people who are just starting on socials.
Oh, 100%.
They can have 50 followers, and it doesn't matter because it's the good music. So
music first, it helps push it, and we will help give you advice. But
exactly.
From our point of view,
obviously it's great to see if you have a massive following, and then you can also make great music. But I think in terms of the smaller labels, it's always about the music, isn't it? So hot take number 2.
I like these hot takes, Cal. These are cool.
You don't need mastering; you need better mixing.
Oh, okay. I don't. That's a really tough one. Okay, essentially, an amazing mastered track that's been mixed poorly is going to still sound crap.
It is.
It's just going to sound loud and bright and clear, but the mix is going to sound rubbish.
100%.
So yeah, I think even if you reverse before that, I'm going to try and find a way of copying out and having a direct answer on this. But reality is, if you choose your sounds well, there's far too much hype in the producer world on plugins and this will fix your mixing and always do this to the low end and the kicks. If your sounds are good, you won't actually have to do that much EQing and compression and all of that. You won't have to get into too much.
It's the cherry on top, isn't it? The mixing, that's where you want it to be.
For me, it's a process of everything. I mean, we listen and sign records that haven't been professionally mixed or mastered. They're just balanced well with some good sounds, and we hear the idea and we get involved in that. But if I was going to give an artist a piece of advice and I was saying you're sending music out, always put your best work forward. You're not going to go to a job interview in trackies, are you?
No.
Unless it's for a gym or
for
something.
for JD Sports.
But you know what I mean? You're going to make that effort, so put your best foot forward. And I think mastering is quite affordable now, so I would still always get your tracks mastered. Before sending out. But
100%.
These hot takes are quite bold statements.
Nice. I mean, I think that'll do. 3 hot takes.
I think so. I think that wraps up a really fun session.
This has been awesome.
So that wraps up another Toolroom Academy Artist Breakthrough podcast. It's been loads of fun. Loads of fun.
Can't wait for the next one already.
I've really enjoyed that. The hot takes have been brilliant. I want to get a little soundbite button for that.
We need it. We need that. That's in the next episode.
We'll be back next time, guys. We'll have more hot topics to discuss and some more demos as well. Looking forward to hearing those. Big up to the guys that we played today. They were really, really cool. Some great creativity.
Stuff, yeah. Awesome. If you have any questions, anything that you want to speak about as well, give us a shout on the socials.
Yeah, give us a shout on socials. Let us know in the comments if you're watching this on YouTube, things that you want us to talk about. And we'll catch you on the next one. All right? Peace out, guys.
Bye. Cool.
Sweet.
Mate, that was fun.
Was it good?
That was fun.
I felt like I was talking far too much. My brain was going, shut up and let Cal talk.